Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, would you look at that? Why don't you trust the government, they say? How could you not have faith in the DOJ? These institutions are not to be questioned. Their credibility knows no bounds. Okay, well, that's interesting. You know, if that truly is the case, then I have one question. If the system's credibility is to be unquestioned, then why is it that we constantly find them lying? New footage from January 6th shows Kamala Harris exiting the Capitol before the actual events of the day. Now, the question is, why is this relevant? Well, very simply because the DOJ lied about it, and they used that lie in their prosecution against hundreds of Trump supporters who were present during that protest. We got some more January 6th footage that Nancy Pelosi doesn't want you to see. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends, take a look at this headline right over here. Revealed. CCTV video shows Kamala Harris exiting U.S. Capitol building at 11:25 a.m. on January 6th. The Department of Justice later lied and said that she was in the building during riot and used that lie to persecute hundreds of Trump supporters. Here's the video, which was released today by Free State Will. That is March 6th, 2024. Free State Will writes, newly released Capitol CCTV shows then Senator Kamala Harris exiting the Capitol at 11:25 a.m. on January 6th. The government filed indictments in the January 6 cases for almost a year, falsely claiming that Harris was still in the Capitol building. Take a look. There's also this part of the clip. There seems to be an unknown man at the back, as you can see, with a hoodie on, wearing civilian clothing, wearing a mask, coordinating with police officers, and he gets instructed, I guess, to go someplace else. But what's important is that the timestamp indicates that that man was seen at 2:03 p.m., which was 10 minutes before any protester had even entered the building. That, of course, raises another concern, different questions, which we might have time to get into later. But for now, let's focus on Kamala Harris. Why is this important? Well, very simply, it's important because more than 100 J6 defendants were charged with a specific crime, 1512C, felony charges for their actions on that day. The DOJ claimed in the charges that Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence were in the Capitol building at the time of the rioting. Here we have it, 18 U.S. Code 1512, tampering with a witness, victim, or an informant. Now that's the name of the law, but it goes into all kinds of different things. It starts off with main bullet points: whoever ends or attempts to end another person with intent to, whoever uses physical force or the threat of physical force against any person or attempts to do so with the intent to. So using physical force with the intent to influence, delay, or prevent the testimony of a person in an official proceeding, or cause or induce any person to withhold testimony or withhold a record, document, or other object from an official proceeding. In other words, you could be found guilty of this felony crime if you use physical force or a threat of physical force to essentially stop an official proceeding. Well, kind of interesting that people are being charged with that specific code, considering at the time Congress had already wrapped up. Kamala Harris wasn't even in the building. It doesn't exactly make sense. More than 100 defendants have been given the 1512 felony charge that could potentially land them in jail for many years, as the maximum sentence is up to 20 years of jail time. However, this charge is inaccurate, as no congressional session was being held, but it appears now that neither of the two primary members, Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, were actually at the Capitol. So Congress wasn't in session, meaning there was no official proceeding or session to be stopped in the first place, and the two primary members, who were supposedly the targets of these threats, weren't even in the building. They had been evacuated from the grounds due to the pipe bomb discovered at the DNC and RNC. Harris was at the DNC and Pence left around 1:40, so neither were even present. It is to be noted that this charge was leveled originally against Enron employees who destroyed evidence as hearings were occurring occurring in DC. From a legal perspective, it seems to me as if the DOJ actually lied. The claim of stopping an official proceeding is totally inaccurate. Then there's the second element of these charges. As Julie Kelly on Twitter puts it, the basis for most common misdemeanor, entering and remaining on restricted grounds, was the presence of both Harris and Mike Pence at the Capitol. As Secret Service protectees, the area was automatically, quote, restricted. Politico broke the story back in November of 2021 that Harris had left prior to any breach, and indictments claiming that Harris was at the Capitol were inaccurate. Didn't matter to DC judges that DOJ inaccurately claimed in hundreds of charging documents that Harris was inside the building before admitting the truth. DOJ then focused on Pence, insisting that he was still at the Capitol, but he was whisked away to an underground garage. The public and defendants have been told, although the exact location is still unknown. And so look, the leftist argument here is going to be, well, actually it doesn't matter, the law still applies because these people had bad intents and they were going after Mike Pence and Kamala Harris, which, okay, I mean, I guess it's not the worst argument I ever heard. But even if that was the case, there's still another problem here, kind of a big one too. It seems as though the DOJ might have actually lied and misrepresented the facts in their charging documents. In other words, hundreds of people potentially have inaccuracies, lies, mistruths included in their charging documents. That's gotta mean something, right? How can you possibly have mistrust in the DOJ and the CIA and the FBI? How can you not? It's nonstop, nothing but lies. They lied in their charging documents, and they were made aware multiple times that Mike Pence and Kamala Harris were not in the building, yet they proceeded. And now we have actual video evidence that they did in fact lie and they just didn't care. I mean, no wonder people have mistrust. It's a pattern of behavior. Majority of American voters believe that the CIA/FBI are seeking to control the outcome of the 2024 election. Is that also just wacko conspiracy mistrust? Of course not. It's again a pattern. People saw what the CIA did in the previous election with their infiltration of Twitter and Facebook, the 51 intelligence officials signing on to the letter suggesting the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. They've seen it with their own eyes. They understand. We have seen the CIA, the FBI, and the DOJ lie way too many times. And this latest Kamala Harris-Mike Pence lie is just another one to add to the list. It's no wonder trust is eroding. It's no wonder people are skeptical, because it just keeps happening. There was no official proceeding. There was no active congressional session. Mike Pence and Kamala Harris were not in the building, and we can now confirm that Kamala Harris wasn't in the building as she left, as seen on CCTV footage, at 11:21 a.m., hours before the protest even really started, and roughly almost 3 hours before a single protester had even entered the Capitol. Those are the facts. In fact, that's the truth that for some reason the media and the powers that be don't want you to know about. So that's pretty much it. Do with it what you will. Make up your own opinions. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.